How can you work a 9-to-5 job with only the weekends and 4 weeks per year off without feeling like you are wasting your life? Reddit Opinion 1. I, 16 male, have been looking at what I could do after graduating school and realized that this all is shit. How can somebody be okay with working a 9-to-5 job, sitting in an office, coming home just to do this pointless shit the next morning again? Always do what your boss says. Only having the weekends and 4 weeks per year off and wasting your life doing the same shit repeatedly. I mean, that's one of the most depressing things I've ever heard of. Reddit Opinion 2. Flexible jobs are becoming more common. I work a 10 week, 4 days a week, 10 hours a day, so I have every Friday off. Things like working from home, flex time, working more during the week and taking time off elsewhere, and alternate start times. I work 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Give a better work-life balance. Also, being smart about time off helps stretch it. Taking time around certain holidays can get you a week in my company for 1 or 2 days. That all being said, working with people you enjoy working with is the top metric. In my opinion, I could do almost any job with a great team of people. No matter how good the job is, if the people are terrible, it will negatively affect your physical and mental health. Reddit Opinion 3. Well, if you've got a decently paid middle-class job and no family to support, you don't have to work full-time. For example, my brother is a secondary school teacher, 7th to 9th grade. Teachers are a well-respected profession in our country and earn a good above-median income. My brother is 38 and has a girlfriend, but no children. He is fairly humble, so he doesn't need tons of material goods to be happy. This combination of factors allows him to work only 2 days per week and stay free on the other 5 days. This way, he's got plenty of time to enjoy his hobbies, meet friends, do activities with his girlfriend, or simply chill out at home. In other words, enjoy his life. He even saves enough money to vacation to another country once or twice a year. Reddit Opinion 4. That's the million-dollar question. Get rich or waste your life making your boss rich. It's not even close. With waking, commute, lunch hours and such, you're looking at 10 to 12 hours of your day dictated by your job. You'll have 2, maybe 3 hours for yourself weekends. It wastes your life, and no amount of "you'll have something else to live for" bullshit comments will make it okay. The system is a trap and designed to trap you for the rest of your life, going into enormous debt to either get a degree, buy a house, or a car, so you'll be forced to work a bullshit job until you die and be grateful you had the chance. There's no way around it though. You can look at investing, maybe. Minimize any debt you're thinking of incurring. Some will say that you'll have to start your own business, but will fail to disclose that 90% of startups fail, and even if you succeed, you'll be looking at even longer hours than a normal job would take. That's not even considering that you probably won't be rich and will live quite okay. If I were you, I would start looking for a job you like, could tolerate, where you could save at least half of your salary. No commute time, close to where you live so you don't waste your life on traffic. Invest 20 to 30% of your monthly salary on any stock, crypto you think is good or has a good future. Endure this for 5 years and take no debt, or at least not unnecessary debt. Maybe you'll need to borrow a couple of grand to buy a car so you can get to work. After 5 years, unless something catastrophic happens, you'll have several times your investment, and maybe you can be a little more free with your future choices. Just for the love of God, if you value your little freedom, don't buy a house. Get married and work till you're 70 trap. Remember, if you're in debt, you have no choice but to work, and you need to accept whatever is thrown your way. Others will tell you that you must leave your parents' house as soon as possible and get a wife and kids. But that's a trap for me. Take your youth and think ahead. Enjoy the rent-free house while you can. And don't get married. When divorce hits, half of your shit is gone. Or get kids. They're expensive, off. While you're still figuring shit out, a condom will probably be your best life investment right now. Reddit opinion 5. I feel like everyone here is delusional. Everyone says, oh well, if you find the right job, you could make decent money and have a good hobby. Life is worth living, yada yada. The truth is that we are wasting our lives. Everyone here is so complacent, they don't understand that things could improve. We just choose not to try and change the system. I think people forget that the 5-day work week is outdated and doesn't belong in our society anymore. I never loved work. I still don't. I hate it. I don't expect anyone to like it. And I think you're a little off your rocker if you love it. I struggled with the thought of working my whole life. There are a million other ways to spend time in life. And we are slowly but surely getting to a point where we can have 4-day work weeks and universal basic income. That said, we need to do a little work, so our time off is worth it. My advice is to live with your parents as long as possible. Work really hard for a while, save up, and travel as far and wide as possible. Try to gain some perspective and discover what you want from life. Always remember to be grateful for the little things and be mindful. That's what helped me. Reddit opinion 6. Well, there's a lot to unpack in your question. But first of all, know that you're still young. So you still have some time to come to terms with the truth in life. The truth is that 80% of your life is spent trying to survive, which means working a lot. The idea seems horrifying for someone who has spent all his life with relatively few responsibilities. But don't worry. There is a feeling of peace and fulfillment in surviving by yourself. Granted, it comes with age. As for doing the same thing over and over again, sorry to break it to you, but that's all you've ever done. You eat, breathe, shit, and sleep. Every story has a similar structure. Every human is made of skin and bones. Every song is a variation of the diatonic scale. Every country is just another piece of land. And yet you enjoy stories. You enjoy meeting new people, different songs, and traveling to different places. Everything in the world is paradoxically new, exciting, repetitive, and boring. The key to true fulfillment comes from accepting that the world isn't what you wish it to be, learning to deal with the parts you dislike and maintaining the parts of it that you love. Reddit opinion 7. I'm only 4 years older than you, but I think I can provide some advice. Give up on your dreams. Now, hold on just a minute. I know that sounds very pessimistic, but I don't mean it in the literal sense. Don't give up on your dreams. Instead, learn how and when to let go of them. I want to be a movie director, but to get into that industry with 0 to no contacts is almost impossible. I haven't given up on that dream, but while working to achieve it, I've learned that I like other stuff, like editing videos and working on producing spots and commercials and stuff. It's not glamorous, but I like it. If I do that, making commercials or editing videos for a YouTuber, I will be happy because I might do something I like. And if I end up working a desk job, I would still have my hobbies to keep me going. What I mean is, don't marry yourself to this idea that you will end up being some billionaire who will change the world. Some of us just came into this world to be happy, and that's okay. Also, find some hobbies to distract you from your work life. Reddit opinion 8. When it comes to working, there are realistically 2 options. Either work a job you love or a job to pay for something you love. So for me, I see work as a way to fund my hobbies, not work being my hobby. Find what you want. Work to be both in the physical aspect of the job and the logistical side. Do you want to work in an office outside or both? Travel, no travel, or a little travel? 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. or 12 a.m. to 9 a.m. How many days a week? And if it's not the standard 5, do you want to work 1 week on, 1 week off, or 2 on, 1 off? 2 on, 3 off, 2 on, 2 off, or 4 on, 4 off, 4 on, 2 off? Once you figure out what you want work to be, figure out how that will work around your life, not how you will work around it. Now, it won't be perfect, especially at first. You have less leverage the younger you are, but if you can check 75% of the wants for your first job, that is a good start. Reddit opinion 9. I do it because I am paid more than I ever thought possible without the traditional path most took to get where I am. I do not have a degree, and I worked my ass off for 15 years to get here. I was making $84,000 a year before the pandemic came along and laid me off. I had to take a job. I was way overqualified for it to the new salary of $60,000 a year, with the shittiest health benefits known to man. That $24,000 hit was hard to overcome, but COVID had my role almost non-existent. I work in corporate training. I was lucky to find something in May and leave the $60,000 toxic job behind. Long story longer. I now make $93,000 base with an assload of perks, bonuses, and benefits. I should easily clear $130,000 in a full year, even with moderate performance from the company. This is how I endure the 9-to-5 headache and drama. If I had made less, I would have tried to go into business for myself. But this is a solid living with a wife and a kid. The money allows me to enjoy our little time off in this world. Reddit opinion 10. You will realize as you get older that every human walking on this planet gets the same 24 hours per day. Time is the only constant. How you spend that time changes. You invest more in school and work early on to build a career later that allows you more freedom. That doesn't mean you stop working. You must find your passion and deal with the grind. There may be decades when you just go through the motions. But you need to have goals in mind. People in modern life want constant excitement. That's just not how life works. Do you want a kid? That is boring. It's medical appointments, sleep schedules, etc. The same goes for a dog. The same goes for a career. What else would you do from 8 to 4 during the day if you didn't have to work? You find time outside work to connect with people and do your hobbies. Reddit opinion 11. I'm not sitting on an assembly line stamping widgets out here. There's a lot more to it. Listen, you're 16. That's okay. You'll grow out of it, but you don't know what life is like yet. You're imagining the future, but with no experience. Every one of my days is different and inevitably unpredictable. As David Foster Wallace put it, I can see work as soul-sucking drudgery, or fulfilling and interesting, alive with the same fire that lit the stars. My life is fleeting and temporary. I have about an 80% chance of making it to retirement age. I can choose to despair, or I can choose to delight in my day-to-day. I can say that I'll never be immortalized, or impact the course of history, or I can find great joy in bettering the lives of those around me. Happiness is often a choice. Reddit opinion 12. You're 16 and you're asking this question. You're way ahead of the game, and it figures you're probably not American, as we have a huge list of shoulds based on social pressure, gun-to-the-head economics, and twisted values encouraged by Instagram and social media to be ballers, influencers, and internet famous. It's all designed to keep you playing the debt, and one who dies with the most toys wins. Game. Society wants you to believe happiness is one purchase away, but it's an illusion. Specifics. Don't get into credit cards or major college loan debt. Those two things make you a slave for 10 to 20 years. Go to a cheap CC if you must. Don't get married young. Don't get in debt paying for a ring. Don't have kids you can't afford, and don't let any woman or parent force you into those, unless you are willing to pay the price and can handle it. Don't let your sex drive or emotions make decisions your brain will have to fix later. God. For men, that's a huge, predictable mistake. Read Charles Bukowski. Okay, you don't have to, but I recommend it. Now, ask yourself what you want to do with your life. Most people don't even get to ask themselves that question because they have made one or more of the mistakes listed above. and the freedom of choice option is over. Life becomes about fear of legal and financial punishment and what you must do to avoid them. That's not a life. That's a prison sentence without a jailhouse. Reddit opinion 13. I'll give you some advice I've realized after about 16 years in the workforce, the last 7 or so in professional full-time roles. When you leave school, look to do something that you can work for yourself or largely independently without lots of oversight. Jobs include things like carpenter, electrician, plumber, or other trades where you can end up having your own business or working for yourself or as a contractor. If you are more academically minded psychologist, doctor, general practitioner really. But this takes a long time to achieve. Physio, radiography, or cardiac technicians. Somewhere where you are employed solely due to skills and left alone to practice them with little to no oversight. You probably won't be able to escape the full-time work grind. But the thing with work that makes it so unpalatable is dealing with politics, bosses, or pointless shit you don't care about. Getting yourself into a niche where you can remove as much of that work as possible isn't so bad. Avoid the generic corporate jobs like the plague unless you want to sit around doing shit spreadsheets you don't care about, making awkward small talk with bosses you don't like about synergy, and partaking in cringe-inducing fun office culture. A lot of office jobs are largely just made up of pointless tasks that don't matter, but bring a lot of stress anyway, because you have to sit down and produce them for your boss. Another hint: the smaller the organization, the better. The bigger the organization, the more bureaucracy and the more frustrating. Working as a contractor in technical work for a local, state, or federal government is usually pretty solid too. Edit to say, invest early in retirement. It might seem a long way away, but life moves quickly. Put extra money into your retirement package. Super 401,000. I don't know what other countries have. And buy shares. If you can invest, say, 5x a year every year from the age of, say, 21 by the time you're 40, that will be a fairly significant chunk of change. I'm looking to retire at around 55, so I have about 20-something years of work ahead. If I had started thinking about it at 20 instead of 30, I could have made that 45. Don't completely deny yourself. Have fun, travel, go out and party. But think more about your expenses. Buy a used car instead of a new one, and stay in a cheaper hotel or hostel when you travel. Luxury shit is a waste of money. Every dollar you lose is another dollar you have to earn working. Thank you so much for watching and for your time. It means a lot to me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would be happy about a like from you. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. The community benefits. Remember to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell to not miss anything. Have a great day. See you back here soon.